Jeremiah and Ezekiel. Jeremiah and Ezekiel. Um, okay, Jeremiah was anointed by the Holy Spirit from his mother's womb. Ezekiel clearly received the Holy Spirit, and from time to time, Ezekiel was afraid. He held back. Ezekiel was timid. He was uncomfortable. He did not want to speak to people, and he would come out and speak to thousands of people. He actually personally was a part of a bizarre and powerful victory. But as soon as the Holy Spirit was gone from him, he retreated. Jeremiah was a completely different character. He was anointed from the Holy Spirit from his mother's womb and constantly grieved over the destruction of the beautiful city of peace. And if you're not reading the scriptures, these characters are our example of how we deal with all of our lives, with every single person. We are the kings that have sinned in bizarre ways and difficulties come upon us. If you read the Kings or read the Chronicles, read 1st and 2nd Samuel, remember there's no killing justified after Messiah comes. None whatsoever. But there's killing justified until the supernatural visitor comes to all the peoples of the earth and unites Jew and Gentile. There is no longer one nation or one people that is raised up and sanctified to God. It is those who are willing to submit to the Spirit of God who are the ones who truly wrestle with God. So make no mistake about my agreement with Ezekiel killing 400 prophets of Baal who were lying to the people and causing the people to go in a way that polluted themselves. I don't agree with killing. I don't agree with capital punishment. That was an age before the visitation of the actual God person who put power on peoples. 120 peoples were told by Yeshua, don't leave Jerusalem. Don't do anything until you get power. And if you think you can run around and have, a spiritual life or, have a form of spirituality without waiting until you have power and then actually living with the manifestation of that power, then you are sadly mistaken. I grew up in churches that did not talk about the supernatural. They did not even help me out with the concept of human pleasures. The pleasure of success is dangerous. The pleasure of money is dangerous. The pleasure of the physical marriage bed pleasures can be dangerous. The pleasures of food and tastes can be dangerous. No one ever did a pleasure study with me regularly in any of the churches that I was in for 14 years. They did not talk about the supernatural. They did not give me the proofs of Yeshua. Remember, hundreds of predictions point to this Jesus of Nazareth guy. Hundreds of people. He is a public figure who is publicly famous because he can heal a whole hospital filled with people, and people are mobbing him because of his supernatural powers. Not because he's a fine teacher and he has eloquent understanding of what God was really like. He has power, so they follow him around and they get his teachings. No one could do the miracles that you do if you weren't from God, right? That's what Nicodemus, the smart guy, says to him. So he can heal whole hospitals full of people. He's a public figure, and he is publicly executed. Then he is publicly seen by over 500 people across a period of 40 days. This is a weird part of human history. And his greatest power, the power to be able to transfer supernatural powers right to you. Voisenadakata, receive, 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 receive. You are the resurrection power. You have the resurrection power in you, but you hold back, and then you receive the power, and then you walk and you share with the power unequivocally. In the freedom of religion zone, the heaviest attack is in the laziness and the complacency. Study Ezekiel, study Jeremiah, study commentaries about them. Understand what those peoples are. They're real peoples who have interfaced with heaven and moved supernatural. Supernatural warnings and supernatural powers. Jeremiah and Ezekiel. And my middle name, according to the sweet one, is Jeremiah. Yippee, how weird is that? You can mock me or laugh at me, whatever, I don't care. I'm alive, and I'm going to